Hey, Shalom, Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Wadash, Yahweh, thou be the true and powerful mighty name, who dwell ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Ahaya. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai, that's the true and powerful mighty name, who dwell ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Yeshua, or Yeshaya. And the Rakach Wadash is the Holy Spirit, according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. I would like to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have learned the truth of the Bible from. Peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And much love and respect unto you brothers pushing this gospel necessary in truth, risking your lives of freedom, now more so than ever. May Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai continue to bless you and your households. I'm the brother Yawan, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing is edifying to the Lord's elect. And I'm getting First Thessalonians 5:3 from this article right here, man. Okay. They shall call for peace and safety and then sudden destruction. So it's from Reuters, 11 hours ago. Iran and the U.S. received plan to end hostilities amid immediate ceasefire, source says. Okay. And I don't really believe this. Okay, this could be a farce. Okay, because this is they like the elites got a saying, never let a good crisis go to waste. And I just don't see this war ending. I just don't. Okay, but that's just me speaking as a man. So let's go on to this article. April 6th, Reuters. Iran and the United States have received a plan to end hostilities that could come into an effect on Monday and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a source aware of the proposal said on Monday. Who gave them the plans? I feel like it's the elites because everything is orchestrated by them. So, a framework to end hostilities have been put together by Pakistan. Okay, so Pakistan was trying to be a mediator in all of this, and they concocted a plan on how this can end. So let's look into this. So Pakistan has put together a framework to end hostilities has been put together by Pakistan in exchange with Iran in the U.S. overnight. The source said, outlining a two-tier approach with an immediate ceasefire followed by a comprehensive agreement. All elements need to be agreed today, the source said, adding the initial understanding will be structured as a memorandum, a memorandum of understanding, finalized electronically through Pakistan, the sole communication channel in the talks. Axios first reported on Sunday that the United States, Iran, and regional mediators were discussing a potential 45-day ceasefire as a part of a two-phase deal that could lead to a permanent end to the war, citing U.S., Israeli, and regional sources. 45 days. Okay. We'll see. Like I said, I'll call cap because anything can happen within those 45 days. They can get this shit kicked back off. The source told Reuters Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Ashum Munir has been in contact all night long with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Under the proposal, a ceasefire would take effect immediately, reopening the Strait of Hormuz with 15 to 20 days to finalize a broader settlement. The deal, tentatively dubbed the Islamabad Accord, would include a regional framework for the Strait with final in-person talks in Islamabad. There is no immediate response from the U.S. or Iranian officials. Pakistan's Foreign Office spokesperson Tahir Anrabi declined comment. Iranian officials had previously told Reuters that Tehran was seeking a permanent ceasefire with guarantees they would not be attacked again by the U.S. and Israel. They have said Iran has received messages from mediators including Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt. The final agreement is expected to include Iranian commitments not to pursue nuclear weapons in exchange for sanction release and the release of frozen assets, the source said. Now, you really think Iran is going to give up their pursuit of nuclear weapons? I doubt it. Two Pakistani sources said Iran has yet to commit despite intensified civilian and military outreach. Iran has not responded yet, one source said, adding proposals backed by Pakistan, China, and the United States for a temporary ceasefire has drawn no commitment so far. There was no immediate response from Chinese officials to requests for comment. The latest diplomatic push comes amid escalating hostilities that have raised concern over a disruption to to shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery for global oil supplies. Yeah, because you got, I want to say, gas stations out there in Florida is running out of fuel. You got airlines, saying that they reaching the end of what they have. Yeah, and the world isn't ready, and this is just more Esau trying to kick the can down the road, man. But they running out of street. U.S. President Donald Trump has in recent days publicly pressed for a rapid end to the conflict, warning of consequences if a ceasefire is not reached within a short time frame. Then that can be right there that make things go, escalate. Okay, because they calling for peace and safety, but who's to say that Iran is going to agree with these terms and conditions, and then if they don't, hey, back at square one. The conflict has heightened volatility in energy markets, with traders closely watching any developments that could affect flows through the strait. And that's the end of the article. So I went to the chat. It was like, give me precepts according to the matter. Give me a second. All right. So let's go ahead. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. I say 5 and 2. I'm starting at the top of verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right, and that's why it's important for us to be measuring the times diligently and standing upon our watch, so we won't get caught unawares. Verse 3, for when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. Right, so let's see what the Amplifier has to say about that. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1, but as to the suitable times and the precise seasons and dates, brethren, you have no necessity for anything being written to you. For you yourselves know perfectly well that the day of the return of the Lord will come as unexpectedly and suddenly as a thief in the night. When people are saying all is well and secure, there is peace and safety, then in a moment unforeseen, destruction, ruin, and death will come upon them as suddenly as labor pains come upon a woman with child, and they shall by no means escape. And there will be no escape, right? Because this is prophecy that they're trying to duck and dodge, and you can't duck and dodge prophecy. Okay, so peace and safety is a false sense of security. That sudden destruction is that judgment that's going to hit unexpectedly, and there's no warning at the final moment. So there's, y'all not going to be able to escape, man, because the men of the Lord been out here signing, crying, and warning y'all, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for decades, man, and y'all still can't see it. Okay, so let's get Luke 21 and 34. Luke 21:34. But take heed to yourselves and be on your guard. That's very important to be on your guard, lest your hearts be overburdened and depressed, weighed down with the giddiness and headache and nausea of self-indulgence. Yeah, because it's because we're supposed to be focusing on prophecies and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Fuck self-indulgence. We got eternity in the kingdom for that, man. Drunkenness and worldly worries and cares pertaining to the business of this life, unless that day come upon you suddenly like a trap or a noose, for it will come upon all who live upon the face of the entire earth. Keep awake then and watch at all times, being on your watch, measuring the time. Be discreet, attentive, and ready, praying that you may have the full strength and ability and be accounted worthy to escape all these things that taken together that will take place and stand in the presence of the Son of Man. Right. And that's very important, man. But you have people lost in the sauce, man. People going to be distracted. They're going to get caught off guard, and that judgment going to hit them like a trap because they're too busy focusing on the cares of this life, which is pointless. Okay, because you don't want to be caught unawares. Matthew 24 and 37. Okay, and it reads, as were the days. Let me start at 36. And this is red letter. It's supposed to be red letter, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. But of that exact day and hour knows no one, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. As were the days of Noah, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For just as in those days before the flood they were eating and drinking, men marrying and women being given in marriage, until the very day when Noah went into the ark. Yeah, people was being distracted until that judgment came, man. Y'all should all be familiar with the story of Noah. And they did not know or understand until the flood came and swept them all away. So will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. Don't want to get caught with your pants down, because people gonna be living a normal life, going day to day, and knowing the warnings, okay, and knowing the signs, and that destruction gonna come upon y'all suddenly, man. No new thing under the sun. Okay, and let's go here to Luke chapter 17, verse 26. Okay, I'm gonna start at 26. And just as it was in the days of Noah, so will it be during the time of the Son of Man. People ate, they drank, they married, they were given in marriage, right up to the day when Noah went into the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. So also it was the time as it was in the days of Lot. People ate, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. But on the very day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Okay, that is the way it will be on the day that the Son of Man is revealed, right? Because when the elect is being beamed up in them chariots, those nukes are going to be dropping at the same simultaneously. Okay, business as usual, then instant judgment. Okay, you got Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 14, going into false peace. Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 14, they have healed also the wound of the daughter of my people. lightly and neglectfully saying peace, peace when there is no peace. Okay. And, they somewhat, healed the daughter of the people, going to the Israelites, so called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What they did with the women. That's why the women are elevated in the society versus the men. Okay. And now they trying to, push for peace, but there's no peace. Okay. Like I said, I don't think Iran gonna take part of that. Ezekiel 13, leaders slash people claiming everything is fine. Reality, destruction is coming. Ezekiel 13 says the same thing. Ezekiel 13 and 10. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace when there is no peace, and because when one builds a flimsy wall, behold, these prophets daub it over with whitewash. Okay. Say to them who daub it with whitewash that it shall fall. There shall be a downpour of rain, and you, O great hailstone, shall fall, in a violent wind shall tear apart the whitewash and flimsy wall. And that's going into the plagues and the punishments of prophecy that's going to come on these people, man. That's going to build down people's false sense of hope. False security is a deception. Okay, so let's go back to 1 Thessalonians 5. We go to verse 4. But you are not given, Slaki, but you are not given up to the power of darkness, brethren, for that day to overtake you by surprise like a thief. For you are all sons of light and sons of the day. We do not belong either to the night or darkness. Accordingly, then, let us not sleep as the rest do, but let us keep wide awake, alert, watchful, cautious, and on your guard, and let us be sober, calm, collected, and circumspect, always looking around, having your head on the spiritual swivel. For those who sleep in the night, or those who sleep at the night, and those who are drunk get drunk at night. All right, and that was the point. The destruction is sudden only to the unaware, because we stand on our watch. We are doing a diligent, being very diligent on our watch, because we don't want to get caught unaware. We don't want the destruction to come suddenly unto us. We see it a mile away. That's why we're hiding ourselves in this truth, because a prudent man foreseeth the evil, and he hiding himself. 2 Peter 3 and 10, the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Same exact warning, repeated. Okay, and the watchful is going to see the destruction coming spiritually, because they're on their second Ezra 9, measuring the time diligently in itself. Revelation 3 and 3. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief. And that's Yahweh Shah speaking, man. I don't want to be caught on the end of that. So let's go here, Revelation 3 and 3. So call to mind the lessons you receive and heard. Continually lay them to heart and obey them and repent. In case you will not rouse yourselves and keep awake and watch, I will come upon you like a thief, and you will not know or suspect at what hour I will come. So stay on your watch, okay? Because if you're not watching, you will get caught off guard. You're gonna, and then Yahweh Shah said he'll remove your candlestick, remove that Holy Spirit from you, okay? So the world says everything is good. People will then start to relax and stop watching. Sin and distractions increase. The warnings are going to be ignored, and then boom, that sudden destruction is going to hit. So peace and safety isn't just words, it's a mindset. Trusting the system instead of trusting the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, thinking that judgment won't happen, being comfortable in the wickedness, ignoring signs and prophecy. That's what's going to make the destruction sudden. Okay? And I got one more I want to grab before I close out. 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he has made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, you had more riots and uproars this past weekend. People are, on edge and they losing it. And you had, you got earthquakes happening every day. Okay, but you had some pretty big ones over this weekend as well. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things that were from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So we're clearly in the end, man. So stay on your watch. Okay? Don't get caught off guard, man. Because our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. Besides this, you know what a crucial hour this is, how it is high time now for you to wake up out of your sleep, rouse to reality. For salvation, the final deliverance, is nearer to us now than when we first believed. So, and this is hella close, man. So you don't want to get caught up with the 2/3. Continue to fight, continue to push, and continue to watch and pray, man, so you won't get caught unawares. I pray and hope the edification was made, giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Chakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, peace, blessing, safety, and salutation. Shalom.